Hey everyone, good evening. I am back again in my talk show, which is Hey everyone, good evening. I am back again on my Tuesday talk show, and today I have a wonderful guest with me. I have a very dear friend of mine who's joining me today. His name is Saqib, and he is one of my life coaching buddies. He's joining us today very soon, and he's going to be part of the session today. I have been a little off the Insta Live off lately. Like I said, मैंने बताया था आप लोगों को last time that because I met with an accident, इसलिए मैंने कुछ टाइम के लिए इंस्टा लाइव सेशंस नहीं किए थे. और अब बिकॉज गणेश चतुर्थी के चक्कर में आई कुड नॉट हैव माई लास्ट सेशन कंडक्टेड, बट आज आई हैव गॉट अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट फॉर यू गाइज एंड आई एम गोना हैव अ क्विक चैट विथ हिम. नेक्स्ट 1 आवर में हम एक बहुत अच्छी चैट करेंगे उनके साथ में, और कुछ डिफरेंट डिस्कशंस भी करेंगे, सम कैंडिड डिस्कशंस एज वेल. सो आई एम गोना कॉल अपॉन Saqib in very quickly. He's going to join us. In the meanwhile, let me quickly say hi to everyone. Hi Ishan, thanks for joining in. Hi Ronak. Hi Priya Mehtani. Hey Shashank, thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Hi Asim, thanks for joining in. Hey, okay, so Coach MS MAK is here with us right now, and he's going to be sending me the joining request. I will quickly pull him in. Hey Gujarat ke bande, thanks for joining in. Hi Arsu, thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. So which is my dear friend Saqib, and we're going to have a really cool discussion with him today. So just stay put. I think he's going to just quickly join us. In the meanwhile, let me give you a quick introduction about, okay, all right. So we have okay, hi Saqib, good evening. Thanks for joining in.
Hello. Am I
Hi,
audible?
how are you, Saqib? Yes,
Audible?
yes.
Oh,
Absolutely, absolutely.
great.
Loud and clear.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. How you been doing?
Absolutely, absolutely fine, Saqib. Thank you so much. So good to see you after such a long time.
Absolutely. Same here. Same here.
Yeah. Okay. So I was just, needless to give an introduction, but I was just giving an introduction to people who've joined in about you, as to how we met, and how we started off. So Saqib, which is Coach MS MAK, is one of my very close buddies. We started our NLP practitioners together, and we've known each other for almost, 2 years now? More than 2 years, Saqib?
Yeah. More
Yeah,
than 2 years.
yeah. So he's a life vision coach. He's a career, business, and life coach, and he also is an emotional intelligence coach, certified emotional intelligence coach. He's also done graphology, which is a very interesting topic, and we're going to talk a little bit more today. Something which is very interesting and intriguing. So yeah, so and he's in this business of graphology and life coaching for quite some time now. And today we are going to have a candid discussion with Coach MS MAK Saqib, and to know more about his lifestyle, know more about how he became a graphologist, a life coach, emotional intelligence coach. इतनी सारी जो आप हैट पहनते हो, कैसे पहनते हो, आज हम आपसे जानेंगे. So welcome on the show, Saqib. Yeah, over to you. If you can just share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Swati. It is a wonderful introduction that you gave. मतलब मैं when you were telling me, or when you were telling all these things, then I realized कि अच्छा मैं इतना सब भी कुछ करता हूँ. No, when you do it, when you hear it, I'm not used to someone talking about me like this. So it's thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And you yourself are doing so well, and coming from your mouth, it's like I'm happy that it's something that we understand. We are in a field where the things that we do with people, and then the way it affects people, and
Yeah.
having buddies, as you rightly said, being a buddy, and being there to support each other and work with each other. I think that's the wonderful thing to be in this profession, being a coach. And so what do you want me to tell, about
So how did you start your life coaching and graphology journey? I think today we're going to be more talking about graphology, and what is it all about, because बहुत सारे audiences को पता भी नहीं है graphology होता क्या है. So maybe,
Okay.
and I think I also would like to know a little bit more about that. So maybe we can start with that.
Okay, great. So as you know that right now I'm a coach, so I'm ICF certified, and I've done coaching, and we have done NLP together. Also done emotional intelligence, and then hypnosis, and a couple of other things. So, but graphology happened much before this. Okay, so that time even I was not even introduced to coaching. So that time graphology happened. I'll just rewind you a few years back. So I'm an entrepreneur. So I started working into corporates, worked for like 11 years, then realized I don't want to be here and I want to be, not that things are not going good. It was going great. I was getting into middle management. But then I realized that I want to do something of my own. And like way back in like what, 2012, 13, it's like almost 9, 10 years now. And then I started my own, I became an entrepreneur, started my own journey with my own setup. I started having my clients. So 5 to 6 years went on doing that. And if you ask me, graphology happened around 3, 4 years back, wherein because of the hectic schedules and because of the work that I was doing, I was growing in my business. I was doing well. I was traveling. It was like within a week, I was traveling 2 cities, Bangalore, Delhi, either Delhi, Chandigarh. So I was traveling a lot during that time. Things were growing really well. And I was happy with the growth that I was getting. But somewhere I felt that there is something that it was kind of a burnout that was happening with me. I used to feel physically getting tired is one thing, but then somewhere you feel everything is going well, things are going really great, but still there is something that I felt is missing. And I've been a person who's always been in a quest of understanding and like emotions and why do people why do people feel certain things? Why not this way? Why am I feeling like this? Where is it coming from? I'm always a person who's been very inquisitive about these things. That's how eventually coaching happened. But then graphology is something that happened. I came to know about graphology wherein one of my friend, he shared that, just by seeing your handwriting, your signature, your handwriting, and certain drawings, you can really understand the blueprint. Blueprint means everything that we develop right from our childhood, our conditioning, whatever comes to us genetically, everything, right from physical to mental, everything is our blueprint. And in the handwriting, it is possible to see and understand things that we are not even conscious about. And that intrigued me. I said, oh, that's great, because a lot of times we try to understand what is going on with me, why am I feeling like this. Certain things we understand, but a lot of things we don't even understand unless someone else points out to you, because we all feel, yeah, I'm good, I'm doing well, but then there is someone who will come and tell you there is something not right. Then you realize, oh, then the attention goes there. But then this thing really intrigued me, and I wanted to understand more about this. So I got my analysis done. So there's someone who I've learned it from. He's from Pune. He's one of the best guys in India, Milind Rajore. So he's someone who does graphology for criminal cases and all of that. Finding out forgery and all of that. So he does a lot, and he's one of the top guys in India. So I happened to be in touch with him, and I got my analysis from him. And I realized so many things about myself, which I thought I knew. And see, we all understand that, oh, I know myself. But then I realized there are so many things which made up or built my way of thinking, my way of doing things, my behavior, my attitude. I had anger issues by the way. And because I think it was, and I used to just burst out on someone. And then later I used to feel, oh, why did I do that?
Why did I?
Yeah. So then I realized, no, this is not the way it has to be. But then I realized how it really all works, how these things go back to your childhood, to your upbringing, to your surroundings, to your the parenting that has happened, or maybe people around you. A lot of things I started realizing, and it was explained to me. And I said, oh, this is something so wonderful, so easy to understand. Not easy, obviously it requires an expert for you to really go through and handwriting, and just a simple handwriting, and tell you something about like your grandparents had a disease like this, which only I know. I have never shared with that person, and that the person tells me. So it is something that I realized, oh, that means it has a lot of science behind it, right? Thankfully, it is a pseudoscience. It does not come under like scientific way of doing things, but then it is really something that gets into areas and places where we are not conscious about, but that becomes a part of what we are. And I think that is where then I wanted to learn graphology, and I asked him, and he thankfully he was taking batches for graphology trainings. I went to the training, and I myself, there's something called as therapy also in that, wherein you also do some corrective measures, wherein there are certain handwriting, there are certain patterns that you have to practice, which acts reverse. Like, when all your blueprint is seen in your handwriting, when you practice certain things, it also helps you to change that blueprint. So it's a very nice way of practicing it daily. So I started doing that. I saw a lot of changes within myself. I realized that so many things, smaller things, but then it really mattered the way I behaved, performed, did things. I could understand a lot of connections of I know a lot of people feel this when we face relationship issues. I'll give you an example. It's a very simple example how graphology has really gave me an idea of something which I never realized could be so easy to understand. See, people have relationship issues. Okay, a lot of people go through relationship issues, but when you go through graphology, it can go back to the relationships that your parents had, even with between them and with their parents, like grandparents. And something that you pick up in your childhood unknowingly becomes a pattern in you, and then you face similar issues in your relationships. So it goes back to that level. So that is where you can go back and understand, and then you can do corrective actions, like if there is something that you need to mend relation with your parents first to have a better relationship. Right? And that is where I realized, oh, this is so deep. And this is something that really intrigued me, and that's where I started practicing. And I think I have a lot of clients who have been who got a lot of results. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert even now, because there's a lot to learn in any field that you go into. In just a few years, they started doing it. But then it is fun. It is nice to do that, because when I see someone getting a result or finding a solution, right? They have been struggling for like years, and with a simple handwriting or something that like a drawing, there's a kind of a drawing that we do, and just seeing that you're able to find out and tell them this is where it is coming from, I think that gives immense happiness. And I think that cannot account for the the energy exchange and all that. That's a smaller part, but then more is the way it really helps people. And I think that is a wonderful thing. That's important. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, so that's graphology.
Great. I think thank you so much, Sakib, for sharing like in detail what graphology is all about. And I'll just take a pause and quickly welcome the people who've just joined in. I saw Vaishali, emotional wellness coach, also here sometime back. She waved out to us. Hi, Bhumika. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Sadanand, Saras, Rohila. Enjoying mother life in Sweden. Hi, Sweden. Thanks for joining in. So, guys, we have you have a luxury today because you have 2 life coaches on the platform, right? So take best advantage of that. जो भी आपके questions है pertaining to life coach, because we have a guest who is a wonderful life vision coach. He helps people in career, business, personal life as well, and also he's a graphologist. So अगर आपकी कोई भी questions है pertaining to that, please feel free to shoot out your questions, and my friend will be more than happy to answer that. You can ask any questions to both of us. We'll be more than happy to answer that. Coming back to graphology and the journey, Sakib. I think very interestingly, आपने बताया that to know more about a person आपने ये सीखा. To know more about yourself first आपने अपने ऊपर आजमाया. And just say, you mentioned that you can not only find out about yourself but also about what happened to your ancestors with this kind of work as well. Knowing your handwriting skills or knowing your signature, etc. You can actually dig down deep within the family tree as well and know exactly what's the root cause. So I think that's the elementary thing that I think for everyone I want to say that life coaching or any kind of therapeutic work is based on that only. जहाँ पर हम try करते हैं to find out what is the root cause of the problem. ऐसे superficially चीजें नहीं ठीक हो सकती. मतलब कोई बीमार है तो हमने ये नहीं है कि पैरासिटामोल दे दिया और छोड़ दिया चले जाओ घर पे. But you have to really understand कि what is the cause of the problem. कहाँ से है वो? childhood problem है, trauma है, या उनके कोई physical abuse है, कोई mental abuse है, या parental कोई pressure हुआ है, या कोई relationship ने उनको hamper किया है उनके mind को. तो I think ये सारी जो चीजें हैं, graphology है, palmistry है, also I think obviously NLP is one of the most supreme things to talk about that. Even in emotional intelligence भी हम यही बातें करते हैं. We can find out more about the emotions of the person. So yeah, I think wonderful, Sakib. So this is just for the audience to let you know that this is what Sakib does. So you can reach out to him for any kind of assistance on graphology or emotional intelligence coaching as well, and obviously life coaching and career coaching. So life coaching कैसे आया? मतलब graphology तो एक आपने किया and you've been doing for quite some time. Hey Pragati, thanks for joining in. So Pragati is also one of our group members. Good to see you, dear. So आपने life coaching कैसे start किया? How did you get into what interested you into getting into life coaching and कैसे शुरुआत करी?
Okay, so I think as I was telling about my business, so things were going on well, and I was always wondering that I I felt a point of saturation where I felt that I am doing so much, I want to do more, but then I couldn't find out ways or roadblocks within myself, and there was no one. There were mentors around me. There were people around me who were helping me with my business, but then that was purely business, and I could not. And as a person, I'll tell you something about me personally. Right? I'm not a person who would really go up to someone or talk to someone, even if there's a really good friend. I wasn't a person who would go to someone and share something that I wouldn't be comfortable sharing, and I was not comfortable sharing a lot of things. Okay, so that was like a major communication gap or a communication issue that I had, and I think it was probably the conditioning that I would say the patriarchal way of upbringing, wherein it is said that men should not be emotional, men should not be like this, men should behave like this, they should keep things to
इमेज
themselves.
बना के रखना जरूरी होता है.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that conditioning is like so widespread. हमारे यहाँ पे it is normal and it is okay to be like that. And that is where I realized that something can be done more, and I realized there are certain roadblocks and there are certain things I can do more, but something is stopping me from doing it. And then that's where one of my friends was in Bangalore, and she told me that there is something called as life coaching. So I've heard about life coaching, but then it was like most of the people here on the call even now, life coaching is something that we hear that like some celebrities, like we have heard of Tony Robbins, we have heard of big names. So it was something that I could not relate to so much. But then she said, just go through this session, just go through this and just have a conversation and see how it works. And that one conversation with a friend and who was a life coach, that really opened up a completely different spectrum for me to realize that, these are so many things that I do on a daily basis, which can be done better, or I can focus on certain things. And I was completely neglecting them and thinking I was okay with them. But those smaller things were not that great, and I had to work on them. But and I was not open to getting feedback from people. But this person, since I was there for a session, I was completely open, and that person had gave me a very safe space to talk, and that person helped me open up, which I didn't. I was not comfortable doing that before that particular session, and that's when I realized, this is a place where a person like me, who's not comfortable sharing and talking about his innermost feelings or certain things in his life, and not shared with anyone, not used to sharing with anyone, and this person really made me comfortable to share. And I was, after that 1 hour session, I think it was like a huge boulder, just removed or left off from my shoulder, from my chest, and I felt so good about it. I didn't know that one session did not really change my life, but then I felt so good after that, and that feeling helped me understand that there is this side of such a professional way of really dealing with people, helping people. Because before coaching, if you ask me, I understood counseling, which people dread going to counselors, because we all know that counselors are not supposed to give advice, but they give a lot of advice. Okay, and then counseling means then career counseling ho jata hai, this that, but then we have perceptions around that. Coaching was a completely new thing for me, and then other things to forget, like psychiatry and all that, so we just run away from all that, because it's something that something is wrong with me, I can't even go to someone like that. So that to forget it. वहां जाना तो मतलब it is something that is an extreme thing. Thankfully, I didn't have to go out or reach out to someone like that. But still, going to a coach itself was a completely new experience, and it really helped me understand that this is also something as a profession. And then when I started exploring it, I realized it is so widely spread. There are global bodies who acknowledge this. They certify you with all this, and that's why if you ask me, 2017, I'm talking about, this happened. And then towards 2017, 18, towards 18, completely towards 18, my focus completely moved towards life coaching and getting into coaching as a profession. And 2018 is the time where I actually put my complete business onto autopilot towards the end. And I think that is where we did the session with
Yeah.
the workshop with Vikram,
Workshop.
and
Yeah.
I think that was that is the best thing that happened. And then from there, so I just feel it's a journey where I'm talking to so many people every day. I'm sure you do the way we do that. Talking to so many people. People come with certain things which they don't realize, and being in this profession, we realize, oh, it is so simple that if these few things the person does, so many things will change.
Exactly.
And I think that really changed, and I think getting a first-hand experience was really helpful to me. And then I felt, okay, this is something that I really want to reach out to, because I love talking to people. I anyways have been into mentoring position when I was doing my business. So I was anyways mentoring people. I was anyways counseling people. So I said, why not do it professionally, where it has a way and a structure around it?
Correct.
And I think that's where it all started. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's your stage, your platform. So yeah, absolutely, rightly said. Saqib, definitely that's the way to go, because life coaching is, I think, yeah, अभी भी India में इतना prevalent नहीं है. Still, a lot of people are apprehensive about what is coaching, what is counseling. I think mixed up है. अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा mixed up है. We still have to train people and tell people what is the difference and stuff. But I think, yeah, I completely endorse what you're saying. That and that's something which I can say from my personal experience, where I have also been coached, and I have coached so many people now in the last 2 years, that definitely I think जो चीजें हम खुद अपने बारे में नहीं जानते, that is something which, and वो नहीं जानते इसलिए नहीं because we don't know ourselves. We can't say that. A lot of people say that हम तो अपने आप को बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं. I know myself very well. But when they actually come in that session and they start talking, that's when they realize, oh my God, this is also something which was there in me. Why do I behave in a particular way? Why do I get angry in a particular situation? Why do I get irritated with, अगर किसी ने मुझे ऐसा बोल दिया, why do I get irritated? Body shaming. The other day I was coaching a teenager. I'll take a moment and share this. I was coaching a teenager, Simon ki friend. Okay. One of my daughter's friend, one of her friends. So I was coaching her, and she was like, it started with something like career coaching, basically, कि इसको क्या करना है life में and all that, and she would just want to get some clarity. But then when she was talking to me, and it went on for 1.5 hours. When she was talking, and the way the flow of the conversation went, and some questions, obviously हमारे questions ही हमारी tools होते हैं. So the kind of question that I asked her, she came up with something where there is a belief in her, एक belief system है जहां पर उसको लगता है that people are body shaming her, because of which her underconfidence has developed. And which she is not even aware of, that how it has to come up. So I think that is very, very important. And wahi cheez life coaching mein, and this is for everyone who is listening to our conversation today, that that is a basic difference. It's not a therapy. It's not like we still feel that एक mental taboo है, societal taboo है कि कोच के पास जाना या थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाना या काउंसलर के पास जाना मतलब आप थोड़ा क्रैक हो गए ऊपर से. ऐसा नहीं है. It is just that everyone needs to know. हम इतनी busy lifestyle में होते हैं कि we don't have the time to sit back and understand. आज मैंने ये behave किया तो क्यों behave किया? आज मैं अपने बेटे के ऊपर इतना चिल्लाई हूँ जोर से तो क्यों चिल्लाई हूँ? क्या रीजन था? मैं उसके लिए नहीं चिल्लाई हूँ क्योंकि उसने कुछ बुरा किया है. I have shouted at him because there's something which is boiling inside me, which I am not paying attention to. And that is what a life coach, that is what a counselor or a coach can help you find out. And that's exactly what we are trained at, specialized at. So hence, please, I think whoever is watching this video and whoever is live with us and whoever is going to watch this later as well, my humble request is, वो एक taboo निकाल दीजिए दिमाग से, because everyone needs a coach. I think a coach also needs a coach. ये हम बोल सकते हैं because हमने एक दूसरे को बहुत बार कोच किया. We have asked, exactly. We had a group of buddy coaches and we coached each other so many times, because there are certain things that you don't talk about with yourself, which you talk to the third person. That's very important. So guys, I'll just quickly just take a refresh the session today. So we are in conversation with Saqib, who is a life vision coach, who's a graphologer, who is an emotional expert, intelligence expert, and also an NLP practitioner, a very close buddy of mine. We are having a discussion about his career, his journey as a life coach and a graphologer. आपके पास कोई सवाल है, कोई भी questions है pertaining to Saqib or his profession or anything about life coaching, any issues that you're dealing with, you can please mention that in the chat box and we'll be more than happy to take that question for you. So, Saqib, coming back to you. Sorry, there was a little pause that I took.
No, absolutely.
तो कमिंग बैक, ये प्रोफेशन जैसे अभी हम बात कर रहे थे बहुत ज्यादा नोन नहीं है इंडस्ट्री में, अभी भी इंडिया में इतना ज्यादा नोन नहीं है. अभी भी लोग इसको मतलब थोड़ा, so how do you deal with that, like ये वो जो एक situation, how did you deal with that, how did you come out of that? Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you how I started. So I used to be very confused कि क्यों है ऐसा, मतलब why people awareness क्यों नहीं है, although there are international bodies जो इतना सब certification कर रहे हैं, why all this is there. So there are a couple of aspects which I could realize. One is आजकल coaching के नाम पे बहुत कुछ होता है.
Exactly.
Okay, so you'll find a trainer, you'll find, and especially on Instagram, you'll find so many people say, become a coach, become a wellness coach, become a this, get six-figure income, this, that, all that jazz. So there are a lot of people.
Authenticity क्या है नहीं पता.
Yes, they're trying to sell a lot of things in the name of coaching. I feel happy about that because coaching is a buzzword, and they want to use something which is working in the market. But then, they're creating a certain name which is not the right way of doing coaching. They're trying to create certain other things, but then using coaching as a profession. So if you ask me, how do I deal with, or how do I understand, and how do I tackle such things? So first of all, what I realized is the apprehension that people have when they come to a coach is people are so used to getting advice. So when they go to a friend, although they want someone to listen to them, but they always end up getting an advice from a friend. And people want that. People want their thoughts and feelings to be validated, and someone telling them whether they are, do this, do that, and they want to validate the way they are doing certain things. When people come to a coach, they expect us to give advice to them. And when I tell them, I'm not going to give you advice, they're confused. Then what
करना क्या है, क्या करोगे? Exactly.
करना क्या है? No, then what will you do? So that is where I think that is what our role is, wherein we are creating awareness, wherein rather than, so I ask the person very simply, do you want to depend on me for every problem in your life and come back to me for every session? I'm happy to charge you every time.
Exactly.
Right? I'm happy to charge you. But do you want to keep doing that for every problem in your life, or you want to go back from a session where you understand what you could do better, and from here on you can handle similar situations on your own, which is better.
On your own,
and that is where the person realizes, so it will help me do things. So this is one part of it where someone who wants to change. So this is I would say these are the people I would really want to work with, who want to really change and do things for themselves. But there is a bigger lot. People don't want to do the hard work. People tell me, आप बता दो, you tell me what has to be done. Even if I take him through a session when I'm asking certain questions, helping that person realize, सब होने के बाद the person will ask me at the end, लेकिन what do you think I should do? So there are people who don't want to do the hard work. अब वो किसके साथ काम करना है? You have to work with yourself only, and that itself is a challenge because. And I understand the psyche when I talk to people that why is it so prevalent is because, look, they are stuck with so many other things in their life, so many their own issues like family, relationships, office, work, career. They don't want to take out time on working on themselves. So they want someone to tell them. But that is where the problem is. You cannot really, for other things, I would say that for all the other things outside, which are external to you, you might as well get advice. But for yourself, you are the one who has to work. You cannot expect someone else to do that for you. But I think that is part of the job. I think that is where, I think, I'm sure you experience the same thing. First or one or two sessions, just go in creating awareness.
Actually, I think, in fact, that's the plan also. That's the reason why I spoke to Sabi also the other day, one of our other buddy coaches. I think, we should do that because, it's high time that we should spread awareness on what is an authentic coach first, rather than, and like what you said, like बहुत सारे market में coach घूम रहे, तो किसके पास rightly जाना चाहिए? What is the certification that you should look at, and what is the authenticity that you should look at in a coach or a or a life coach? The other is that obviously what is coaching all about, because ये भी बहुत जरूरी है, लोगों को जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि किस चीजों में हम help कर सकते हैं, कैसे हम help कर सकते हैं. Rightly said by you, I think ये चीज बहुत मैंने भी बहुत face करी है, that people want to be spoon fed. They want to be like, okay, this is the कि हमने खाना बना दिया, आप खा लो. It's like, so that's what I also keep telling them. I can prepare the dinner for you every night, no problem. I'll charge you a bomb also for that. I don't have a problem. But would you want me to do that for the rest of your life? I want to teach the person how to fish. I don't want, like they say in training as well,
Yes,
teach
yes,
the person how to fish, he'll be able to eat for the rest of his life. But if you give him a fish every day, if you cook that fish for him every day, तो फिर वो आपके ऊपर depend रहेगा. I don't want to be, I don't want people to be dependent on me. That's the difference between coaching and empowering करना है हमें, ना कि हमें आपको सिखाना है. कि सिखा नहीं सकते हम हर किसी.
right, right.
वो है. I think that's very valid input that you gave, Saqib. I think we should definitely offline work on that, creating more, coming live more and creating some awareness sessions ki coaching kya hota hai.
Right.
And okay, so for the people who have any questions regarding coaching and life coaching, graphology, etc., you can put in your questions here to me and Saqib, and we'll be more than happy to answer that. Coming back to Saqib, ye to raha challenges in life coaching. But what is the most interesting thing? What is the most interesting thing that you found in life coaching and NLP coaching particularly? Because I know that you've done NLP practitioner's course. So, what is the most interesting thing that you found?
Okay, so this is something that I personally faced. So, while doing my own business, being an entrepreneur, I should deal with a lot of people, right? On a daily basis, I should talk to a lot of new people, like clients, and then prospects and all of that, and then my team, the people I was working with. The major and the most important aspect of any teamwork, or when you are working with other people, is the way you communicate and talk to them. It is as simple as that. We have been doing that all our lives. हम तो बात कर ही रहे हैं. But then, what is effective communication? I think that communication aspect of coaching, wherein, and especially NLP, when you look at NLP, wherein the way how you talk certain things, how it affects you, how people are visual, how people are kinesthetic, how people, so the way the focus goes to certain things, and that helped me understand people around me first.
Correct.
My level of communication, the way I used to talk to people, I am a very visual person, okay, and a bit of auditory and a bit of more of visual person. I started understanding that what my family members are first, how my people around me are, and the way I used to communicate to them. And most of the time I realized the miscommunication used to happen because I felt I said the right thing and the person never understood what I was trying to say. And I think it is such a small thing, but it is such an important aspect. Wherein I realized if this thing is corrected between two people, and you become more aware of how you are, what are you speaking, how are you speaking, how it is going across. And I think that really, really helped me to first correct my way of communicating. My way of saying certain things, putting my point across, and also not getting angry, because as I told you, I had anger issues. So not getting angry, not telling something to someone which is then uncalled for. So all that understanding about myself and then people around me, I could really change things around me, the way it was happening. And I realized it becomes very easy and it becomes very simple, not easy, but it becomes simple to really communicate and get work done, and you also doing the things and people understand what you're trying to do. And I think this is the most interesting part, the most basic and the most neglected part is communication. The way we use words, the way we talk to someone, the way we understand people, how we judge them, based on our own conditioning.
Mental maps.
So it's so easy, right? So easy to see someone and say, oh, this is, it's a North Indian hai, ye yahan se hai, wo wahan se. How all those things really affect your relations with them, how you relate to them, right? And because I've faced all this, I'm sure we all have faced at certain level, maybe at workplace, at families, with so many people around us. But then I think that basic thing, I think it is the most interesting and the most important aspect, I feel, because it is the most basic thing. We will, even if you don't do business, even if you don't do anything else, we will still keep communicating with people around us. Exactly. And I think that's a lifelong learning that I've got, and I think it's amazing. It's really great. Yeah.
Wonderful. No, absolutely, I agree with you. I think communication, तो चाहे आप काम कर रहे हो, चाहे आप घर पे हो, चाहे आप wherever you are, I think communication is, we're all social beings. We have to communicate with each other. We have to survive in this world. Unless we're locking ourselves into a room, that's a different thing altogether. But otherwise, we do communicate. I think I completely agree with you that the first fundamental principle of effective communication is taught in NLP, on how you can understand, be more empathetic. And like I always say that, you can get your work done faster with people and in a better way if you are able to, understand them properly. I think that's very, very important, which is a burning issue in our corporate environment. I
Yes,
think till today
absolutely.
there's a lot of people who are struggling with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I do get a lot of people. I do coach a lot of people. Even in this aspect as well. And again, ये पता नहीं चलता, हम आते नहीं है ऐसे issues लेकर. लेकिन
Mhm.
जब हम we come with issues like when people come to me, they come with issues like I have just been promoted 2 years back, but the problem is that I have been in this position, but my team doesn't listen to me. I'm not able to get work done. My
Yeah.
boss is shouting at me. I kind of give the instructions to my team, but my team is useless. They're all dumbos. I can't
Yeah.
get work done. So
Mhm.
so then when you talk and you kind of question them, you kind of introspect, you kind of do that deep thinking and deep dive inside that person. तब पता चलता है कि actually तो problem सिर्फ communication की है और
Right.
कुछ भी नहीं है.
Hmm.
It's like you're talking London, he's talking Tokyo, he's understanding Tokyo. It's like that. It's all about getting down to like what NLP teaches us, getting down to the modalities of the person. अगर वो
Right.
kinesthetic है उसको उसी language में समझाओ, अगर वो visual है तो उसको उसी language में समझाओ, और अपने mental map को छोड़ दो, आप समझो
Hmm.
उस इंसान को. I think that's very
Right.
important. Yeah, very rightly said.
On the same line, I was discussing this recently with Nalini's husband Srinivas. So they had come down for
Mm-hmm.
her Mrs. India thing in Bombay.
Yeah.
So I happened to attend it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just before the event, I was just having a chat with him. So he's a CEO at an MNC, and then he was talking about how things are there in the corporate and how it is difficult, a challenge with this lockdown and how things are going. So I'm just
Yeah,
thinking,
it is.
I think the same thing he was also saying, the challenges that they are facing, that how to communicate with people. He was talking about newbies who just joined the company. For the last 2 years, they are in the company and they have not been exposed to corporate. So it is very difficult for them to communicate with them because see, when we started working in a corporate, we could understand what the environment is and all that. People who started work in lockdown, they still have not been exposed. Freshers
Yeah.
are not been exposed to the corporate environment.
Cool.
It is so difficult for a corporate guy who's a CEO for them to even pass on a message to someone because they are still in that fresher or a
Zone,
college
huh?
zone. To get
Yeah.
that, it's so difficult to communicate, and that is where we are discussing a lot. We had a good discussion around it. How important it is. I gave him ideas about what kind of trainings they could get into, because see, coaching, the good part is that corporates understand emotional intelligence, and these are buzzwords again. So I also started doing corporate workshops for people wherein and that certifications help, wherein LinkedIn पे देख के लोगों ने बुला you come and do some workshops and have our coaching done. So I'm doing that for a few corporates. But then this communication is such a basic thing, such a neglected thing, but it takes you far ahead if you do it right, I feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very neglected term. It's not just talking, it's more of understanding the person as well. And उसी से तो पूरी दुनिया चलती है. If you understand the other person well, whether in whatever relationship, personal relationships, professional relationships, whatever relationships, if you understand them, half the job is done. If you're able to understand them, and if you're able to make yourself understand the other person, half the job is done. They will do that. So yeah, I rightly said. And a lot of people come with issues, work from home issues बहुत सारे आते हैं, ये सारे issues भी बहुत आते हैं, particularly in this environment. So coming back to emotional intelligence, what kind of coaching in that space how do you help people in that space with respect to emotional intelligence coaching?
Okay, so when you say emotional intelligence, it is connected to the way we think and the thought process and feelings. So making someone understand how certain thought patterns affect your state or emotional state. I go to very basics. I don't get into, because there are a lot of things that we can, with emotional intelligence, there are so many things that we can put out in front of the client. But then I go to the basics first. I make them understand how your thoughts are affecting your emotions, your mood, your feelings. And the moment they realize that basic aspect of it, it's like the building block of the complete well-being of a person. So when I focus there, that okay, this is how you think and this is how you've been thinking, we get to know with the words that they speak out to us. When someone is saying, oh, I'll give an example. So I was having this one of my friend's friend, and she said that I'm having a lot of depression. Okay. I said, okay, so what is going on with you? That I'm having a lot of depression. I have consulted all the psychiatrists in the city. I have consulted all the coaches in the city, all the professions that she could know and she heard of. She said, I have consulted everyone in the city. No one could give me a solution. because I am so depressed. My problem is so big that no one could give me a solution. Okay. So I just asked her one question. I said, how many people did you speak to? Give me the names of them. I might be knowing them. Maybe you went to the wrong people, or I don't know what experience that you had. Tell me what are the where did you go?
Where did you go?
You could only tell me two names. Only two names, and they were not even professionally qualified. And she just spoke to them and she said, my problem is so big, I'm so depressed. I've approached everyone is able to help me. I said, see, this is what you're telling yourself. You have not even spoken to a professional. You have not even seeked help, and you're telling me that I'm depressed and no one is able to help me. I said, this is what you're thinking. So I make the person realize what you are thinking and telling yourself first. No? Because
the narrative which is going on in your mind.
Yeah. So she was making a lot of stories in her own head, and she was telling the story. Actually, I should not be using such words. Bullshitting. Saying. Thinking something is. Saying bullshit is one thing. Believing in your bullshit is another thing. So you should not believe in what you're saying. So just believe in what they think. And most of it is just created in their head. So I feel that so much affects the way the person feels. I'm sure you must be facing this. People are so anxious nowadays. Every other person.
I completely agree with you. This kind of makes me recollect of this last year's pandemic situation. Abhi to फिर भी बहुत better है. The wave 2 आया था. It was so bad, and I was, like my inner circle, my building friends and my friends and all that. And there was a lot of panic, because people were like, suddenly itna zyada cases aa rahe hain, cylinder issues ho rahe hain, people are not getting cylinders, beds nahi mil rahe the, all of that. And if you remember that time, I was putting up videos as well, more videos on how to be positive and stay calm and anxiety control karna and all that. But primarily because I was a strong believer and I kept on saying the same thing. It is all in here. If you believe nothing will happen to you, nothing will happen to you. And trust me, with this only, I have helped so many people. I mean, the inner circle that I'm talking about, the people whom I know and who I keep talking to, and they were like, okay, you're so positive when we talk to you, we also feel, हाँ कुछ नहीं होगा, हम safe है करके. So दिन में अगर मुझे 10 लोग भी phone कर रहे हैं, and I'm like, आज पहली बार स्वाति, I'm talking to you, you're the only person on earth who's talking positive कि कुछ नहीं होगा. And I was the one who was going outside. My son was going outside. The entire pandemic, we were outside. We were like helping people in my building as well. There were so many people who were, the families were unwell. They were, down with COVID and stuff. And we were helping people. We were going to places. We were taking them to hospital. And still, everyone was telling me that देखो कुछ हो जाएगा and all that. I was like, नहीं होगा. You just have to be positive in your mind. अगर हो भी जाएगा, it's okay. It's not the be all and the end all of the world. Right. Just keep yourself calm, be at peace, meditate, be happy, spread positivity, and touch wood. Trust me, nothing happened to me and my family, my children and stuff, and also everyone else who were around and stuff. Even if they were affected, they came back to normal, and everything went on. So I think that is what is very very important. Very truly said. जो हम अपने mind में feed करते हैं, वही हम बन जाते हैं. अगर हम ये feel करते रहेंगे कि मैं depressed हूँ, तो नहीं भी डिप्रेशन होगा ना, वो भी आ जाएगा आपके रास्ते. You'll attract, exactly. You'll attract depression by yourself. If you feel that, if you feel that things are going to be positive, it is going to be positive. It's going to be fine. So it's very very important. I think that is something which is you're doing a great job, because emotional intelligence coaching is something which is very difficult. I understand, because I'm also part of that. So I understand, because a lot of people don't really. They feel like it's toxic positivity sometimes and, things like that. But, when you're actually talking about, how your thoughts are connected to your mood and how it influences your entire personality and behavior, when you talk about that and you actually coach them into that and, show them the entire picture, that's when they realize that, how it is all connected and how you can change your persona just by influencing what you think.
Absolutely.
That's
like I'll just add to what you said, just remember, I just got in my head that, a lot of people, when we say this, that think of, how things have to be, and then don't attract all these things, don't think all that. But then a lot of people, and it is a reality that people think that, but right now I'm feeling like this, how do I think that it is not happening to me? Right? So that's where I want to create
question
so this is where I think, as a coach, I think a lot of people don't realize this, that coaching is not about telling you just to be positive. Coaching is about telling you or taking you where you want to go. You are here. Fine. Absolutely fine. You're not feeling well, you're low, and everything is happening wrong around you. But then is it where you want to stay, or you want to go to a better place? If you are ready to go to a better place, that is where a coach can take you to. And that we take a person from where you are to where you want to be.
Exactly.
Right? So that is that a lot of people don't realize. And I give this example to a lot of people where they find it difficult to relate to all this. I tell them, I said, you believe in something, like example, you believe in your own religion, okay, that you follow, and you believe in certain God, right? I said, when did you start believing in that God? Now you believe. So then now you believe. You strongly believe, oh, my God is this, and definitely that God is helping in all ways, perfect. But then it was not that way always. It started with you being a small child, seeing your parents doing something like that. Yeah, you seeing parents doing something, a ritual or something in front of the same God, and you had faith. It started with faith. That something which I don't have right now, it is called as having faith in something. You want to be well, have faith that you want to be better. You can't believe it because you've not experienced it. People tell me, how can I believe it? Because I've not experienced it. I said, have faith. That faith gets converted to belief as you hold on to that faith. And that transition is what is the complete transformation that you have to go through. And I think that's how we believe in so many things, that our belief did not happen in an instant or overnight. It took us so many years to form certain beliefs. And that is how things happen. So if you want to be somewhere, first start having faith that you can reach there. Belief will happen. That's a journey that we'll go through.
Yeah, no, I completely, I this is something which is very personal. And since you're sharing, I'll share that with the viewers as well. I think this is something which a lot of people know. A recent episode which happened with me.
Right. I was going to tell you
about a month back. About
a
month back, 8th of August, I met with a terrible accident, like a near-death experience. And my family, my dad himself said that, because I had multiple fractures. I mean, while we speak right now as well, I have 12 fractures in my body. And, my dad said because the doctor said it'll take you about 3-4 months to heal completely, and then, physiotherapy and all of that stuff. And Ganesh Chaturthi was, on the way, and 10th of, September, Ganesh Chaturthi आने वाला था. And my dad said that, बेटा इस बार मत करो, हाथ जोड़ के, मतलब because I've been following since a long time, हाथ जोड़ के आप मना कर दो, sorry बोल दो भगवान जी से कि हम next time करेंगे. I said नहीं, I said I have the faith that Bappa मुझे ठीक करेंगे and I will get him home. And trust me, Saki, when I'm getting goosebumps while I'm talking to you, but this is a fact. Till about first week of September, I was not in my full strength, because obviously the medication was going on. I was not able to move around, and I don't have any support system at home to kind of do the entire stuff. But I think 3rd or 4th is when I said, नहीं अब तो एक हफ्ता बाकी है, बस अभी खड़े होना और करना है. Because the faith, मैंने बोल दिया था कि लेके आना है, वो हो जाऊंगी मैं ठीक तब से. And touch wood, this Ganesh Chaturthi was wonderful because he gave me the strength. I don't know how it happened, but the belief, the faith, like you said, that's what it is. It is where you want to be. I'm not saying maybe there could be. Obviously, I only worked it out. There's no magic which has happened. But the faith that I want to have, that I want to be up and running in that time, that faith lets you go somewhere. That's what we have to understand. That and I also keep telling people, if I understand, you can't relate to it because you're in a very sad situation at that point in time, when life seems to be absolutely in shambles, when things are not going as per our liking. बहुत बार होता है लाइफ में. और उस टाइम पे पॉजिटिव कैसे सोचे, नहीं सोचा जाता. लेकिन वही आपको करना है, वही देखना है कि आफ्टर दैट the last the darkest is the time between the midnight and the day. That's what you have to remember. That's the darkest time. उससे ज़्यादा dark तो होगा नहीं life. अभी तो अच्छा ही होने वाला, अब तो सूरज निकलने ही वाला है. So when you think of that and move ahead, obviously you will see that bright side. So I think that's what I also keep saying. Completely agree with you. Yeah, sorry.
And it is very difficult for someone to do it on his own or on her own, and that is what professionals are there for. That is what exactly can help you do and reach there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we are here for, to help you to see the sunlight as well. Okay. So, guys, we are in conversation with Saqib. I'll just refresh the session as well. We have some new people joining in. Hi, Anjana. Hi, Raman. Hi, Flourishing Mindset. Thank you for guys for joining in. We are in conversation with a life vision coach, a graphologist, a very good friend of mine. We've been NLP buddies together. So he's an NLP practitioner as well, an ICF certified, ACC certified coach. So if you have any questions pertaining to anything for him, pertaining to life coaching or graphology or anything that you want to ask, you can put down your questions here and Saqib will be generous enough to answer your questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So moving on, Saqib, in the conversation, and in the last 10 minutes, I have another 15 minutes, I guess. Last 10 minutes, we will do something candid. Okay. We'll, like I said in the beginning, we'll do some candid discussion with you, something to know more about you, okay,
Sure.
as a person. So that's something like a rapid fire round हम करेंगे. So
Sure.
आप क्या suggest करोगे for new people? अभी जैसे आपने बताया, because one thing I want to pick up from what you said is that you said there are a lot of people, these ads keep coming in, people want to aspire to become coaches and stuff like that. So बहुत सारे लोग हैं, बहुत सारे people are wanting to become life coaches. What would you suggest to them? How do they follow an authentic journey and not fall into the rigmarole of getting into these shortcut situations? What would you suggest to them?
Okay. So, see, it's very lucrative when you hear these people talking about, become an entrepreneur and all that. But then trust me, as it is not a very easy journey to be in, because when I left my corporate, I was growing really well. I was with JP Morgan. I was working as an EVP there back in 2012, 13, I'm talking about. And my career was really growing. And when I took a decision that I need to come out of it and start something of my own, when my manager, actually, I'll tell you the exact scenario what happened. I resigned in the discussion wherein my manager told me, I'm putting your name across for the VP. And then I said,
Okay.
hold on, I want to resign. And he was like, I have taken 360 feedback from, like, I've been doing this for the last 3 months and you're telling me you want to resign. I said, I don't think I want to be here for a long run. I have something, plans of my own. I want to do that. And I already started doing it 1 year before I left my job. So people want to become entrepreneurs. People want to become life coaches, and it's a very it looks nice when you look it from the outside, but it is, trust me, it's not an easy journey. When I'll just tell you the initial 5 years of my business or the entrepreneurship. I think 4 hours is the sleep that I've had for at least 5 years. First 5 years without a holiday. I have not celebrated my birthday. I have not celebrated my anniversary. I have not gone to my family functions for 5 years. Just 4 hours of sleep without a vacation, because I wanted to be there. And that itself takes a lot of toll. And that's where I said, the burnout was happening, because I was already enjoying the money and I was replacing my income of my salary and everything. I started doing it really well. But then I loved doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
So when you want to be a life coach, first of all, the most important thing is, do you love doing what you want to do? Don't do it because it looks nice. Do it something because you enjoy
money.
it. Yeah, because money will happen when, I'm sure you must have heard from everyone that follow your passion. And why do people say follow your passion? Is not because, I'm not saying that money is not important. Money is definitely important. If you want to do something, without money, it is useless. Right? It is an important aspect. But then you also need to understand, would you really enjoy it? So then experience that first. Start something on the side. Start doing it where you see that, this is something that I can really grow and do, and then get into it. So I remember when I was planning to quit my job, I sat with my mentor and he told me a calculation how to ensure that if for the next 1 year, 2 year, things don't pick up for you, how would you maintain your expenses and manage all of that? So a lot of planning goes behind all of this. And after, even though I loved it, it gets frustrating at times. It used to get a lot of frustration used to come to me when I was doing that, because then I used to feel, did I take the right decision to leave such a good job and start something of my own? Because initially the income was not coming to me so well. It happened over time, right? Because we say in business that at least 1,000 days a business, you can't even expect anything. 1,000 days is 3 years plus, right? So when I'm saying you want to become a life coach, good enough, but then go through the right certifications, go through the right, experience it yourself. See, you cannot talk about something which you have not experienced. I cannot see, for this conversation, you've not prepared anything. We have experienced a lot of things. That is the reason we are able to share it here. And it is nothing that I can go back and refer to, because it is an experience. So if you experience it yourself, you will understand how it changed. and then you can go out and help and take
Yeah.
it up as a profession, any profession. It's like life coaching and any kind of entrepreneur thing, because when I do business coaching with people, they're the first few things I tell them. You want to do something, see how it works for you, how much are you willing to go far, how far are you willing to go for it, and how much are you willing to compromise. Because I remember my complete family members stopped talking to me for a couple of, at least 1 or 2 years, because they said, you don't come and meet us, you don't call us up. They didn't realize that I was so much into building my own setup that time. So it takes, it has its own, it's a complete package. So I'm sure, go through the right sources, certify yourself, get the right knowledge, and don't become a professor of something, right? Don't learn it and try to implement it. You cannot just learn something in a course and then become a successful professional. You have to experience it, and then it's a journey. It's a complete journey, I would say. That's the only, if I answered your question correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think wonderfully answered. Rightly said, I really like that phrase that you said, don't become a professor or something. Yeah. Adapt it yourself, experience it yourself is very, very important, because varna wo preachy ho jata hai, It's like I've got the gyan from somewhere and I'm putting the gyan somewhere else. But the day when I experience it myself, I'll be able to put on my knowledge and experience and my feelings as well onto the job.
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay, great. So I think we have last 10 minutes left. So are we ready for the candid rapid fire round, Sakib? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं पूछने वाली, कितने girlfriends है वगैरह नहीं पूछूंगी, लेकिन I'm going to ask you some questions and you'll have to answer without thinking, like, don't think too much. Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start. So Sakib, describe yourself in 3 words.
Smart, intelligent, and I would say aspiring, always aspiring.
Smart, intelligent, always aspiring. Okay. Who is your role model?
Myself, 10 years from now.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you've already seen yourself 10 years from now? You visualize yourself?
Yeah, so it's a funny thing. I used to always tell when I was in my corporate that 40, I want to be retired. I don't want to be working for someone. I am 40. I'm not working for someone. I'm debt free. So it was something that I did 10 years back. I thought of it and I'm living that. So
Wonderful. I really like that positive, motivated, confidence level. Wonderful. And ho jayega, I'm sure, definitely. 10 years down the line, we will also see Sakib as a role model. Okay. What are the 3 things that you don't leave your house without?
Watch, my keys and my specs.
Phone bhul jate ho?
Phone तो passing में होता है, phone तो कोई जाता ही नहीं है. Phone is extended part of the body.
Exactly. वो तो साथ में रहता है. हाथ रहे ना रहे, phone जरूर रहेगा.
हाँ, phone जरूर होगा.
Okay. Flourishing Mindset has a question. We will take that up, my dear. Just let me finish off the rapid fire round. I'll take that question for Sakib. Okay. Which social media influencer that you follow and you feel is the best?
I used to follow this Ranveer, the beer biceps guy.
Earlier,
he was good. He was really good, but now he's gone all over the place, so I don't follow him anymore. But I think I would say I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, obviously, because being into this field, and he's one of the gurus of NLP and so many other things that he does. And then I think, and there are people personally in my life also whom I really look up to, but then they're not on social media. They have helped me and shaped me what I am today. So definitely, there are people.
Wonderful. I think we share one influencer, definitely common influencer, Tony Robbins, definitely. NLP ka guru hai wo to, haan. Okay. What would you prefer, a beach vacation or a mountain vacation?
Beach, any day.
Beach person?
Any day.
You're not a trekking person.
I do trekking, but then beach is something that I can live on.
Yeah, you are athletic, right? I see some of your videos sometimes, jogging and running and all of that.
I like that, but I prefer to be beach. I say no, I can live on the beach.
Wow, okay. So bana lo, ek beach house bana lo. Okay. Proudest moment of your life?
Proudest moment? Yet to have. Working towards it.
Okay. Yeah. Till now, anything that you experienced, anything?
I would not associate with that with pride. I would say those are things that I would like. Things happened with me. I was there at the right place at the right time. So I would say something I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that annoys you in people's behavior. One thing that really annoys you.
I personally don't like people who lie in a sense that, they are good to you on the face, but then they lie. Then they're not the way they are. Yeah. I think that is something. But then good part is because of all this training, I'm able to understand them right now. Earlier, I used to be deceived a lot. But then now I feel, now I understand what the person is saying. Thanks to so many language and patterns that you understand now.
Yeah. तो अभी decode कर लेते हो पहले से.
Yeah, very easily. You can understand. Pupil dilation से समझ में आता है बंदा झूठ बोल रहा है कि सही बोल रहा है.
Yeah, तो आंखें बंद करके कोई बात करे तो नहीं पकड़ पाएगा.
तो फिर hypnosis में पकड़ लेता है उसको.
Hypnosis में पकड़ लेते. Wonderful. One quality of a person that pleases you the most.
Being positive, I think it's very important. Just being positive, even though you've not done it or not there, you're just positive about life. That is the most important thing I feel. People. I know. I'll give an example because I keep telling people who are just. There are a lot of people who keep cribbing about a lot of things. Okay, and they do it unknowingly a lot of times, but they don't realize the basic things that I tell that person. You have a house. You are having food. You have fresh air to breathe. Just have some kind of gratitude. Be just positive about what you already have. And that's how it increases. I think that basic idea of being positive about that you're alive, you're living, that itself is good enough for you to move forward in life. And people just neglect that. Having everything also, they feel they don't have anything. That's the sad part.
No, I completely agree with you. I think gratitude is very, very critical if you want to be positive. That's the first stepping stone.
Absolutely.
Okay. Your strongest belief that you hold in life. One of your strongest beliefs that you hold.
I am the chosen one.
You're the chosen one. Okay. And what is the one thing that you keep, kind of affirming yourself on a daily basis? One thing that you're saying to yourself on a daily basis. Your favorite go-to line or mantra that you say.
There are two things though. If something is not going well, it's like this shall pass. This shall pass is something that I keep telling myself that helps me instantly get over it. It's like an anchor to me. It's like really an anchor, NLP anchor that I do it. And then if things are going, and if I want to work on something and I have, I'm worried about it, or I'm just thinking, oh, this may not work, then it's like, things are getting better. So I just keep telling myself things are getting better. And I just instantly feel things are getting better. And things happen also. Yeah.
Great. That's a wonderful thought. So it's like all is well type. Things are getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And last question.
Yeah.
Life coach, Saqib the life coach or Saqib the graphologer? Which one?
Life coach.
As per you is life coach.
Life coach.
Which one is the most?
Yeah.
You like with respect to you enjoy doing that most, or that's the profession that you.
I think life coaching. Why? Because it helps me to see someone realizing their own potential and going back, understanding about themselves. Because I think there is nothing more empowering than that. That you realizing that I have it in me and I can do it. I think that itself gives you a lifelong affirmation that you can do things on your own and you're not really depending on someone else to tell you or motivate you, because motivation does not last. No matter how many motivational videos you'll see, it will not last. The moment you are at a low energy, it all goes away. But if you have that belief or you realize that you have it within you, that is enough to take you through that.
Absolutely. Great. So I think that brings us to the end of our rapid fire, and you did pretty well. Pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Okay. So Saqib, there was one question. I think what one of the girls asked. I'm sure she said one of the books, which life-changing books. I'm just trying to read the question. Okay, Flourishing Mindset wrote one of the life-changing books that you could suggest. Could you recommend some life-changing books? Maybe some self-help books जो आपने पढ़ा हो?
There are a lot of them, right from The Alchemist से लेके the Subtle Art of Giving a Fuck से लेके Atomic Habits. There are a lot of books, but I think reading books is good for knowledge. If you're not able to implement that, keep the book aside. Don't do it. नहीं, because I know a lot of people जो बहुत पढ़ते हैं, They have a lot of knowledge, but then when they are going through something,
implementing,
they forget everything that they have read. Then that is not helpful. It is not useful if you're not able to implement it.
exactly.
So rather than that, pick up a habit from someone or see something small. I'm reading this Atomic Habits habit book now. So it's something very small, wherein you can just change that one thing about you or do it better on a daily basis. Just one thing can take you a long way. No? Because motivational reading something, it is all nice to know. You can talk about it in front of 10 people. It's a good thing to do, and you will be, you can impress people. But if you're not able to keep your mental well-being and state well, it is useless. When you need it, if you forget everything, the lessons, it's a, that what is that phrase? You should not never forget the lesson. What is that phrase? I'm not getting the phrase. There is some phrase.
Life's lesson that you never forget something.
No, some phrase. I just forgot that. So there is a nice phrase around that, because that means if you're not able to implement it when you are at a place where you need it, then that all knowledge is useless.
Koi point nahi,
It's
exactly.
just knowledge. Yeah, it is not useful. Implement it, I feel. Yeah.
Absolutely, rightly, very, very true. Because the other day I was at Clubhouse. I think यही कोई ऐसा ही कोई conversation चल रहा था. What have you learned from the books and stuff? One of the gentlemen also said, one of the moderators also said the same thing, that we do read a lot of books. I think in a human tenure, average tenurity of a person by the age of 40 would have read. I mean, not people of all types of people, would have read at least 10 to 12 books. In an average 40-year person would have read. But how much do we implement in our life? That is what is important. Knowing, having knowledge is one, but implementing that knowledge to our own self is very, very important. Or sab kuch mat karo. It's okay. Take mini steps. Maybe just change one thing about you which you really want to change, which you really feel that will make an impact in other behaviors as well. And then take, step by step approach. Okay, so that's
one more thing I would just add in. Stop comparing yourself.
Stop comparing.
That is, I think that is one of the most important things which a lot of people make them feel bad about themselves constantly by comparing themselves with everyone around them. Stop comparing. You have your own journey. You're unique. You do your things.
Yeah, I mean that only will demotivate you further, because any which way, everyone has a different lifestyle and you don't really know what their lifestyle is all about.
Absolutely.
And these days it's all social media driven. You don't know what looks there and what actually is there. So you don't really know. So
95% of social media, what you see is fake.
Absolutely, exactly. So इसीलिए, gratitude of what you have is very, very important. What you have, self-sufficient of that. Not that obviously we all aspire to become better. Everyone does that. I mean, both of us also wants to become better. But acknowledging what you really have right now. Yes. And are you happy and content with that? Only if you're content. That's also law of attraction, one of the attraction points. अगर हम अभी में content नहीं है, so we are not going to attract anything new and more happiness in our life. If we are always running towards something else, it's like, as a part of desperation, you'll never attract that thing. Right, it's always important to be content with what you have and then keep, taking a step ahead.
That's where that's where law of attraction also comes into play. A lot of people, it's very hard for people to relate to law of attraction also. I come across a lot of people who tell me law of attraction, it doesn't work. It has never worked for me.
Nahi kaam karta, exactly.
So it's a completely different topic. I don't want to go there now.
We'll pick that up one day. It's a very interesting topic. We'll pick that up one day. So I think Sakib, we had a really nice conversation. I think we overshot our time as well, but it was really, really nice conversation. I had good fun talking to you after a long time, and I think the viewers also got some really great insights from you, from your knowledge that you carry, extensive knowledge that you carry about life coaching, NLP, graphology, and a lot of, and obviously life as an experience itself. So I think it was a very, very nice conversation. We will definitely catch up and we'll come back. We'll try and arrange something so that we can come back more live with people to spread awareness on life coaching as suggested by you. Yes. We'll try and work that out as well. Offline, we'll come back and we'll share with the viewers if we can do something on that. But all the very best to you in for your journey ahead, and I'm sure you're doing a great job already. I keep seeing your videos, your content, very, very interesting, and definitely you're into a very good space. So all the very best. And
I think we all inspire each other. So I keep seeing your videos a lot. So it's in this space, it is very much important that we have people around us who are going in the same journey. And I think we being buddies, that really helps, and it's required. No, and thank you for having me. And I think it was a great conversation. I really enjoyed. I didn't realize it was like 1.5 hour now. We've just been talking now.
Yeah, I totally went ahead. But yeah, it was a very wonderful conversation. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Sakib,
Thank
for
you.
joining me today,
Thank you.
and I will catch up with you
Yes.
definitely, and wish you all the very best. God bless,
Thank you so
and
much. Thank you. Wish you the
we
same.
will definitely come live again. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Bye
So guys,
bye.
that's it from my side.
Bye
Bye
bye.
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 That's it from my side, guys. We will come back again with some new guests next time, and you can always watch this video. Sakib has given some really insightful tips on how to become a life coach, how to become a graphologer, how to pursue your journey ahead in life coaching. So go ahead and watch the entire video, and you can see much stuff on that. I will come back next week with another viewer with us, with another guest with us. Till such time, take care. Good night. Bye.